Hi there. We are reading another story today, a story that's sort of related to our story, our Sunday school story about Daniel in the lion's den. Daniel had to be very brave and he had to stand up for what he knew was right. And today's storybook comes from the Little People, Big Dreams series, and it is the story about Rosa Parks. So I'm just going to jump right into this story and see if you can see the different ways or hear the different ways that Rosa stood up for what she knew was right. So Rosa grew up near Montgomery, Alabama. She was very little and very brave. Her grandparents told her stories about a terrible time when black people were not allowed to be free. She's talking about the time of slavery. Even now, they were still treated unfairly. What do you see in the picture that doesn't look fair to you? Rosa didn't complain, but sometimes she had to speak up for herself. When Rosa grew up, her life was full of unfair rules. You can see there is a place where people who had skin of a different color, they could only use certain water fountains, or they could only sit in certain places, or they had to go in different doors than people who had white skin or light skin. So there were lots of unfair rules when Rosa was a young woman. Rosa met a man who was trying to change the rules. She started working to do this too. Look, she is helping people get registered to vote. We just voted, didn't we? One day, a bus driver told Rosa to give her seat to a white man. It was unfair. She said no. So she was sitting down, and the rule at that time was that if a white person came on a bus, then the black person would have to give up their seat if they were in the front. She thought that was an unfair rule, and she said no, and then Rosa was taken to jail. When she came home that night, she made a plan. She fought to make the buses fair and told everyone to stop riding them. So look, at some people are choosing to ride their bikes, and some people are choosing to walk. And look, at some people are giving other people rides in their cars. So maybe if one person doesn't have a car, another person would say, "Oh, I will drive you there." And look, at even in the rain, people were walking. Then she told people all around the country to help. And finally, the rules changed. Rosa kept working to change more rules. She fought for all people who were treated unfairly. Look at her sign. Her sign says, "We have to keep trying as long as we are alive." People told Rosa she was a hero, but she knew there was still work to do. Look at all of the different people she's met for the work that she's done to make sure that everyone is treated fairly. So Rosa had to stand up for what she thought was right, and she had to be brave in doing so because her consequence was she was sent to jail, right? And in the same way, we have Daniel, who is told that there's a rule that he can't pray to God. And he knew that rule wasn't right. And he went ahead and prayed anyway. And he accepted the consequences when he was thrown in the lion's den. But you know what? God was right there with him, just as God was with Rosa in jail even, and in all of her work that she did to make sure that everyone was treated fairly. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our story today, and I'll see you around. Bye-bye.